Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Just to recap on what we done in the last video, we got some spraying done to clean up a few areas, and Stella worked on extending the bumper in some spots while also repairing cracks from transport, because as you know, working with aftermarket fiberglass panels always needs some extra fine tuning. We also tackled some interior fixes, sorting out the radio connection so it's working properly now. On the engine side, we refitted the freshly sandblasted intake manifold and it's looking great. To wrap things up, we started assembling the front end of the car, bringing everything together.
So we're back again in the shed. Any minute, hour that we have spare, it's all going on working on the 350. And then the painter has got in contact with me and he is looking to paint this ASAP. So I'm gonna have to remove all the panels that we are sending off for paint and finishing off the bumper. There's a few fixes that I have to do, and I think the fender needs a bit of fixing as well because it cracked. And then the last thing, I think the crash bar, when Moni was installing it, she didn't have any reference photos. I think it's upside down, so that needs to be reinstalled as well. Have to take the fuel cap off, give it a little polish to have that as a reference for the painter to know which color they have to use for the panels. So it's a busy day ahead, so stay tuned and I'll take you along as much as I can. This is probably like take 3 or 4. It's not focusing on me. So Monika's not here to do the camera work. Ross is not here either. Set up a time lapse of me removing and reinstalling the crash bar, but I don't think it worked because not enough storage on my phone. But one job done, that's reinstalled. So let's move on to the next thing.
So the next part, Stella's gonna take off the fuel cap. So there's just 2 screws that she's unscrewing there. Just for reference, there was 2 bolts here. Took those out. This bracket then came loose, and if it doesn't, just give it a bit of a wiggle and it'll come out. And then it was just kind of yanking it back and forth. But bear in mind, I did break a clip here. There's a notch here, same as here, that did snap off. So one of those 10 hours later memes should be input.
8 hours later.
No, it was actually maybe 20, no, not even. It was actually about 10 to 15 minutes getting this off. It was just a matter of wiggling it, and in the end brute force won. So now that is off, I'm gonna give this a quick polish, and then this will be the reference color for the painter for the panels. So I've just used isopropyl alcohol just to clean down the surface, and as you can see, the current paintwork is in a really bad nick. So I'm just gonna do a bit of polishing and see if we can get a majority of these swirl marks out. Oops. Oh no. That must have been, that hasn't been used in a while. Oh no. Okay, I've dabbed it. Starting on a small setting. So this is the after. Been polishing for a few minutes. I did a heavy coat and then medium coat. I won't bother with the super finish because, you know, I can do that once we're putting the car back together, but it is a massive transformation. So I used the Kosh Chemi heavy cut, and I did have medium from Kosh Chemi, but I ran out, so using this Manzurna stuff. Okay, let's go. First, I've removed it. So I'm happy with this panel, so this is ready for paint. Okay, I'm also happy with the ducktail, so I'm going to remove this also. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to... Going to be careful because I don't want to round off any of the screws. That rounded off. Oh, just as I said it. Fuck me!
So Stella's carefully removing all the panels, one screw at a time. So I'll just use the plastic welder and use an old splitter or side skirt, sorry, to cut out a little piece. The drill bit slipped when we were drilling the ducktail, so I plastic welded that here. So you can see there's still some gaps there. So I'm going to use filler. I sanded the area around it, so I'm going to use some filler to fill this area here.
So this is the face of the feet basically. The last week has been just trying to make the kit fit the car, and yeah, that's been hard. So Cormac, the guy who's painting the kit, was down here during the week and he did give us a dig out with the fender where the fuel cap goes. So there's a massive gap here. And then, as you can see, this part of it comes way too much out this way. But it lines up here. It lines up good. I think this point has to be on this line. And that's matching the body line there as well.
Thanks to Stella's diagram, in short, the red part was sanded down and the yellow part was extended. Cormac then modified the actual cap so that it can close properly, and Adam adjusted the cap so that it does not open far enough to hit the fender but still have enough clearance to fuel the car. This was the final result before paint.
So he's taken a few panels with him already. The only issue is the front bumper, and the reason the fender and the front bumper is still on the car is because for the front bumper to fit properly we need the fenders to mock them up. So basically the reason he hasn't started on painting the kit is because the bumper is not ready yet. So yeah, today's job is to try and fit the bumper. When I say fit, the bumper does fit onto the car, but it's not up to my standards, so I'll show you where we're having issues. So the plan of action is, again, disclaimer, no professional, but the issue is around the side here. As you can see, there's quite a big gap. The side profile doesn't look right either. The plan of action is to take out the headlights and heat gun, get this bumper very hot and try and pull it slightly out so that maybe this is more flush. So in order to remove the headlights, there are 4 10mm bolts on each headlight and an electrical connector plugging into the headlight. Of course, this wasn't an easy job on the car. I was humbled very quickly. Please remind future Stella to not attempt to remove any bolt from the car until I have absolutely drenched it in WD-40. So, nearly removed all the bolts. And I don't know if you can see that. So the actual bracket for the headlight is cracked. So if I go to remove the bolt, I think it's just gonna fully snap off. So the car is taking my whole budget. So the energy drinks have to be cheap. ASMR. Cheers.
Here Stella's just heating up the panel and just trying to bend the bumper into shape so that it is flush with the fender.
So along with painting the panels, we will also need to cut the rear arches and get them welded. As you can see, there is zero clearance on the wheel. So yeah, this will need to be cut back, and then the inner skin will be welded together to ensure that there's no gaps on the skin, if you get me. So to prepare the car for the journey to the paint shop, Stella's taking off the good wheels and putting old stock wheels so that she can actually drive it out. The bumper is finally starting to take shape. Just look at the difference of it before. So I'm just riveting the bumper brackets onto the bumper now. Can't film it because I'm one-handed.
And this is Stella at her first fuel stop since the car has been in pieces in the shed for months. Okay guys, so I know I wasn't in this video and it was mostly Stella. I was quite sick, so Stella took the lead on this video and I think it turned out so good. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below. How are we doing? Do you think we're going to make it on time for Dubshed? But thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!